boy, oh gee, oh boy. Hello there, ladies and gents. I know. It's been quite a while since my last video. A really long while. It wouldn't surprise me if some of you thought I was done completely. And quite frankly, I wouldn't blame you. Between me getting a new job, getting influenza a mere 3 weeks into said job, causing me to literally lose my voice for 2 weeks, and then, my state opening a portal to the depths of hell itself, in which, while I won't say which fire affected me, I will say I was very close to having to evacuate several times.
Come on, baby, I just want out.
I was, in fact, starting to get burnt out on content creation. But now that the holiday is over and my hours at my job have significantly slowed down, I finally feel in the headspace to start making content again. Because hey, it's the new year, a time of renewal, and I thought what better way than to discuss Sony's continued, embarrassing attempts to corner the live service market. Are you ready? Okay, so we all know this gen of consoles have been I'll just say it, a disaster for both sides. Xbox is continuously making baffling decisions and went on an almost 3-year period without releasing any games. Their really bizarre marketing strategy, in which everything is an Xbox, even your phone, and even my PlayStation, and my PC. Yeah, because that won't confuse potential customers at all, right? And then you have Sony, where almost every non-cross-gen game they released had some type of performance or technical issue. Returnal, Spider-Man 2, to even games made by third-party devs released exclusively on their system like Final Fantasy 16 and Rise of the Ronin, marred by performance and resolution issues. It's clear as day that out of all of the console gens we've had so far, this is by far the weakest.
Really makes you think.
However, we are here to discuss a very particular problem Sony has, and that is their continued failure to make live service games. That's right, folks, because it turns out Sony has canceled yet 2 other games that were live service in development, as reported by Jason Schreier via Bloomberg. One was an unknown IP from Bend Studio, the creators of Days Gone, and the other was the mysterious Bluepoint game. That's right, you may remember Bluepoint was working on an original game, and it turns out that was apparently a live service for, wait for it, God of War.
That's stupid. You're stupid. Stop being stupid.
That's right, it was a live service God of War game. I really don't understand Sony, man. I mean, first off, they were working on 12 live service games. Think about that. Think about how many live service games actually pop off and stay in the cultural zeitgeist. There's Destiny, Fortnite, Apex Legends, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, Helldivers 2 technically, and I guess various gacha games if you want to count those, but let's be honest, gacha has existed for a long time, way longer than the current usage of the term live service. So that's what, 6 live service games that have all sustained themselves? Well, maybe not Overwatch for long. After all, if that rumored PvE mode for Rivals is real, they can kiss Overwatch 2 goodbye. Rip Bozo.
Here's the steak knife. Go kill yourself.
But the point is, a mere handful of these types of games make it, and it's usually due to 2 factors. Either A, they're the first of their kind really, like Destiny. There really wasn't a pseudo MMO first-person looter shooter before. The closest was Borderlands, but that wasn't an MMO type game. Or B, they're free or improved vastly on previous iterations of the genre, like Fortnite or Marvel Rivals. Sony was so confident, they decided not only to try and chase the live service dragon, but tried to do it 12 times, and using their studios mainly known for single-player experiences to do so. It's a recipe for disaster anyone with a brain could have told Jim Ryan, but I guess he's not one to listen to common sense when he hears it.
Somebody's gotta get stabbed.
So, out of 12 games so far, they've released 3 in total. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Did I say 12? I meant 19. Boy, that number just keeps getting bigger, doesn't it? They have released Helldivers 2, Gran Turismo 7, considered live service by Sony, and MLB The Show, also considered live service by Sony. They have released one game and shut it down within 2 weeks, aka Concord, which will never not be funny to me. They have 6 currently in development, those being Marathon by Bungie, Fair Games from Haven, the Horizon multiplayer game from Guerrilla, codenamed Gummy Bears from an unknown studio, supposedly was Bungie but is now under a different studio, but I'm not personally sure about that. I believe there is also a Horizon MMO being made by a different studio as well, and then an unknown live service game from Jason Blundell. And the rest are projects that were cancelled. God of War live service, Factions 2, Ben Studios' live service game, Twisted Metal live service, Spider-Man live service, unknown live service game from Deviation, studio shut down in March of last year, an unknown game from First Strike, Operation Payback from Bungie, thought to be Destiny 3, which if true, whoo boy, what a fucking biff that is. And finally, a fantasy live service game from London, cancelled in February of last year, and studio shut down shortly after. Now, I can already see the comments. Why are you complaining? I thought you didn't want live service games. You should be happy. And you're right. I don't want them to focus on live service games. The issue I'm taking with this is how long they're taking and the ones they're choosing to take down and release. Think about it. 3 entire years of work for Ben Studios and Bluepoint just down the drain. 3 years of these people's lives just wasted on a boondoggle. They canned them 3 years in instead of a few months in during pre-development stages. To me, that just screams gross mismanagement and an inability to see the problems coming beforehand. And I don't care what you say. There is no universe where a Spider-Man live service game wouldn't make a buttload of money. Even if it was mid, the mere name alone would have carried that for years. He is literally the most popular superhero in the world, eclipsing Batman and Superman. You're going to look me in the eye and honestly tell me that it wouldn't do gangbusters? And the other issue I have with all of this is how they keep choosing the wrong IPs for this. Factions 2 did not have to be live service. All we wanted was the first game's multiplayer with the second game's visuals and gameplay. God of War is not a live service type of game. You know what games you guys could have used to try and make live service? SOCOM, MotorStorm, Resistance, Killzone, Little Big Planet. Hell, even Infamous could have worked well. Look at DC Universe Online. You guys have a veritable treasure trove to work with, but nah. Cancel the Spider-Man game and Factions 2. We don't want our devs to become full live service. Which is a bullshit excuse, by the way, as you could have had one of these other devs making these live service games support those 2 games with post-release content. But, nah, release Concord, that's sure to be a banger, right? So, no, I don't see these cancellations as a good thing overall. In the short term, sure, but in the long run, all this did was screw over your own developers because you refused to cancel them in a timely manner and prevent these devs from actually putting out some smaller titles in between your bigger ones. Quite frankly, Sony, you guys got really lucky with Helldivers 2. I was a huge fan of the first game, and even I was not expecting it to blow up the way it did. So if I were you, I'd stop trying to chase trends and focus on what you're good at. Okay, that's going to be it for today's video. Might be a little rough after being away all this time, but we'll work the kinks out. Firstly, I want to thank you all who watched for continuing to support me, especially during my extended leave. It truly, truly means a lot, which is why I want to be honest for a second. Now, while I'm not planning to move away from Salt content entirely, I am going to be scaling down Salt content in general, mainly because of my own mental health. It's just not a good thing for me to constantly be looking at such caustic and toxic individuals on a weekly basis. And I want to focus more on discussing news within the game industry as well as more standardized reviews and streams. For example, I'm thinking about maybe streaming FF7 Rebirth next week when it comes to PC. I'll make a poll about this shortly after this video is up. Overall, scaling back on Salt content is something I think I need to do, not just for the longevity of my channel, but for my own mental health. Also, because my new job schedule is kind of hectic, I and I could be called in on random days, I'm just going to stop promising new content or giving teasers altogether, as it's not fair to you guys for me to say a video or live stream is coming when that might not happen at all due to my new schedule. Anyway, thank you all for listening. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. As always, to stay up to date on all things crab, you can follow me on Twitter via the link in the description below. And if you're looking for a way to support the channel, you can consider becoming a member. For just $1 a month, you get access to the community Discord, the Crab Shack. Once you're in for good, as well as emotes you can use to harass me with live on streams. But with all that out of the way, I will see you guys in the next video.